Meet Emily. Emily is a 14-year-old student who attends high school. Her parents recently divorced. She currently lives with her mom and sees her dad every other weekend. Emily is really struggling with not seeing her dad. And her grandma, who's a major person in her life, is sick with cancer. Emily's biology teacher noticed that she has been down, and she has not been turning in her school assignments. Her teacher also overheard her mention to a friend that no one would care if she died. So Emily's teacher asked her to go and speak with the school social worker. Emily meets with the school social worker and mentions that she's feeling hopeless and has thought about overdosing on her mom's anxiety medication. Emily's social worker calls her mom and recommends an assessment at Linden Oaks. Emily's mom brings her to Linden Oaks, where she is seen by a licensed counselor who compiles medical, psychosocial, and psychiatric information. After consulting with a psychiatrist, the counselor recommends that Emily complete a 6-hour a day, 5-day a week partial hospitalization program, PHP for short, with Linden Oaks. Emily and her mom signed an Educational Release of Information for her school, or ROI for short, allowing Linden Oaks to communicate with her school about education-related information, including schoolwork. After the assessment, Linden Oaks sends Emily's school the medical certificate indicating she was admitted to Linden Oaks and will not be at school, and asks the school to send Emily's schoolwork. Meet Madison. Madison is a 16-year-old student in high school. Madison lives with her grandparents and does not see her parents. Madison and her first boyfriend of nearly 2 years recently broke up. Madison's ex-boyfriend was a huge support system for her, and she is distraught about the breakup. She took a couple of days off school and is now having extreme anxiety about returning to school and seeing him in class. She is dreading having to explain the breakup to all of their friends at school. Madison is now refusing to go to school and tells her grandmother she doesn't want to be alive without her boyfriend. Madison texts her ex-boyfriend that she wants to kill herself. Her ex-boyfriend calls her grandma, who brings her to Linden Oaks for an assessment. Madison is seen by a licensed counselor who compiles medical, psychosocial, and psychiatric information. After consulting with a psychiatrist, the counselor recommends that Madison complete a 6-hour a day, 5-day a week PHP program with Linden Oaks. Madison and her grandma sign an educational ROI, allowing Linden Oaks to communicate with her school about her schoolwork. After the assessment, Linden Oaks sends Madison's school the medical certificate indicating that she was admitted to Linden Oaks and will not be at school, and asks the school to send Madison's schoolwork. Meet Jake. Jake is a 17-year-old student who attends high school. Jake is struggling in school and has become very depressed. He was caught drinking last year, which led to a school suspension. Recently, he started using marijuana, and his use is causing problems at home. After a disagreement with his dad, Jake punched his dad in the face. The next day, his dad checked his backpack and discovered that Jake was vaping marijuana at school. Jake's dad brings him to Linden Oaks for an assessment. At Linden Oaks, Jake's medical, psychosocial, and psychiatric information is gathered, and the counselor discovers that Jake is using marijuana every day. After consulting with a psychiatrist, the Linden Oaks assessment specialist recommends that Jake complete a PHP program focused on addressing his addiction and depression. Jake and his dad decided not to sign an educational ROI for Jake's school. Jake has had problems at school previously, and they do not want Jake's school to know that he is at Linden Oaks at all. Because they did not sign the ROI, Linden Oaks cannot call Jake's school at all to let them know that he was admitted or to get schoolwork. Jake's dad indicates that he will call Jake into school sick every day and he will get his schoolwork from the school directly.